Hello, everybody. Welcome back to VALORANT Challengers North America, where we just saw our first series of the day. I'm Gompers, and I'm here with Marks. Our series isn't done yet, though, so we do have that second map. But Marks, that was kind of a banger. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, day number 2, we get into the double elimination bracket. Everyone's kind of coming into this one being like, all right, let's start things off on our best foot. And Letus Cook, they definitely started off on their best foot. They had a very dominant first half. And I mean, going up against Shopify, the team that everyone is expecting to win up this series, they really were showing them what's up in that first half. But by the time things flipped around, Shopify felt like they just turned that dial up to 13, were ready to go and just firing on all cylinders. The defense coming out from Shopify was amazing coming out from them. And as a result, Shopify, they're able to win out that first map, which once again was Letus Cook's map pick.
Yeah, it was honestly a very, very good game that we got to see out of Shopify Rebellion. You talk about that defense, how it was working out so well. I think a big portion of that, and obviously you can see, was Noya just playing on the killjoy. It was the util. It was just having a great understanding as to how their util is going to affect the movement on the map. And I think that was something that really did carry through within the gameplay and allowed Shopify to just gain even more ground on that defense and honestly not even let this team get a plant down. So I think overall, what I'm super excited for is seeing how Shopify Rebellion are going to handle their own map pick.
Yeah, I mean, that is an excellent segue because map number 2 is going to be Bind here, which is Shopify Rebellion's map pick. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little surprised seeing this one kind of come into the rotation. Shopify, I mean, they still look pretty dominant on Bind, but I do think that there are some other maps that I think that they are a little bit stronger on. However, this could also just be a good opportunity to work out some new strats, see what's kind of going on there and get some practice in, because honestly, that's the best way that you kind of learn these things.
No, and I do have to agree, too. Like, the Bind pick, definitely not something I was expecting. If anything, I thought Ascent was actually going to come before Bind.
Me too.
and maybe have that be like the decider. But I think it's more so of that confirmation. Okay, if we don't get that first map, we might get the second, and then we can run away with that third, as that definite answer, which I know sometimes teams will do. But I think overall, just keeping that insurance there, how is this Bind map going to work? I know, obviously, we got to see the performance from Floor, everybody else as well. Obviously, Noya just really popping off on that Killjoy. So I'm excited to see how that Sentinel work is going to go. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like after that last map, I really enjoyed watching Noya play that Killjoy. But of course, we got to pull up here the head-to-head, if you will, between these two teams there. And obviously, the Razes were both leading both of these squads. We talked a lot about popping on that last map, able to find so many opportunities, able to win so many gun duels, and able to take so much space. But of course, singing a different tune when that second half turned around here. And of course, who else but Floor leading the squad there, just completely taking over, ending map number 1 with an ace, by the way. That was the level of performance that we were kind of expecting. Floor started off a little bit quiet, but by the end of the map was just kind of firing off.
Yeah, it was spectacular. It's like what we saw from Poppin in the beginning. It really started to go through with Floor, right? It was just the dominant duelist that we really like to see in games like these. And I mean, honestly, let's talk about the controllers a little bit too. I think on both sides here, it was pretty evident that they were doing a lot of work with Jangler leading the way for Poppin to feel confident in taking those shots, as well as obviously Mel goes down. Sarah still has that position to keep that win condition there as that second smokes, right? So in having, the ability to create those fakes down on the A side or, create some sort of distraction. So I do think it was pretty good on both sides, but obviously Shopify Rebellion working a bit further down on that defense, bringing them that victory of that 13-9.
Yeah, and also, too, I mean, when you talk about the controllers being alive and Mel falling down, Mel was just like such a presence on the map as well. I mean, not necessarily the flashiest stat-wise, but just staying alive, being able to dodge out of situations, even finding like some multi-kills to be able to swing the round back in Shopify's favor. And you can tell that like it's that level of just being alive that was putting a lot of pressure onto Letus Cook. And of course, we did get to see a little bit of shenanigans kind of popping out there as Cameron was trying to take the 1v1 against Mel, which, worked out pretty well for Cameron, but then Mel started to pull that one back. So that was kind of like a fun little duel coming out there. But, having that double controller, I always am a fan of just more map control. And it did feel like on that defense, Shopify were just singing their tune exactly how they wanted to in controlling the pace of that map.
Yeah, they know how to control the game. I think eventually we also we saw a bit of that adaptation that was coming through from Shopify on the attack. Obviously, the attack didn't go so well. They held their own, I think, with that 8-4 coming through. But at the same time, they did manage to read into those really aggressive plays. They managed to push this team back into utilizing that op at the last second and, forcing them to play their positions instead of constantly pushing up down towards mid like they were doing prior. So I do think they're really good at conditioning, the opposing side obviously got a bit harsh with the withstanding there, but I think Bind might be a bit more up their alley of that play style. Taking the time to make these key decisions is exactly how Shopify likes to play instead of, really just running it down. I know Floor used to play like that, right? Just the run it down duelist, but as this team starts to get that, cohesion and together, it starts to become a bit more than that. But we do have, I do believe, the Agent Select ready. So, Marks, what are we looking at?
Oh, we're looking at some fun here as we're going to be actually seeing Cameron move over onto the chamber this time around. And given how they were kind of playing that jet anyways on the last map, this isn't that much of a surprise. However, I'm not gonna lie, gonna hand it to my boy Cypher. I really like seeing Cypher onto this map, and Noya is going to be moving on to that pick. We're going to be able to see the head-to-head once again. Poppin and Fluorescent both playing the Rays here. And you know what? This is going to be a little bit interesting. We're going to be able to see Sky come back into this one, so no more Gecko shenanigans. But there is only that one controller on both sides, being that Viper pick. Oh, sorry, no. My mistake. Brimstone is also coming in as well, and that is 3 more smokes going in here. So both of these teams kind of defaulting to that double controller meta in almost a mirror matchup, minus that Chamber V Cypher.
Yeah, it's looking good, honestly, from this with the mirror matchup. I think what really keeps my interest a bit is the Chamber. I like what we've been seeing from Chamber, I mean, in present time, but I'm interested more so to see how that's going to work out. I guess in response to Shopify's obviously aggressive Raze playstyle that we might get to see and what's going to happen there. But overall, so far, pretty basic Bind composition in my opinion from what we've seen so far. I do like the Cypher coming through from Noya. I think it fits the tone of what we got to see down on that last map. So, just kind of keeping that information and keeping that lurk away.
Yeah, I mean, just to focus in on that Chamber for a second, the traditional Chamber play on the attack is, that Chamber is going to be flanking all over the place and just putting a lot of pressure things around, able to escape so easily. But on the defense as well, just holding down long sight lines. And I think that at this point, Cameron has proven themselves that they can really hold down those sight lines. And so I think that they're going to be leaning into that a little bit more, just a little bit less aggressive without that double duelist. But let's see how this one goes. Already the Guiding Light, a lot of information gathered.
Yeah, flash after flash. The teammates are the only ones really... They said if you can't see them, they can't see you. So I think it works out in the end here. Yep, Smoke's already prepped and ready, but Floor's looking for something with a paint shell. Not looking too easy to get, though. TP pushed through. They know majority is there, and that's such a huge hit from Shopify.
Ooh. Excellent headshot. Bell going down as well. Limits some of these smoke options down here. Cameron does get traded out, though. And now Shopify, they get that spike down.
Yeah, quick movement, though. Already moving up. You can see Bancroft looking for some sort of pick. The spot. It's unfortunate because it's like flash after flash. It's hitting the teammates there. Man, and that would have been huge, too, because they did have such a good flash coming through there. They could have at least gotten 2. So, I mean, unfortunately, the Guiding Light not doing much of the work there.
I'm just imagining what the comms and Letus Cook is like right now. It's just like, go, I can't see anything. Oh no, I'm dead. Just Bancroft there like, ooh, I'm not going to say anything. That's kind of my bad, homies. But, that's the thing, too. Like, we expected to see that little bit more fast and loose style of Letus Cook. I mean, they showed us that a lot on Lotus, and we're seeing it again right off the bat. It might be a little bit too rambunctious for their pacing right now, but Shopify are doing an excellent job of matching it, especially just onto that pistol round. On top of that, too, Shopify really good on the pistol round. They haven't lost one yet. And so we kind of expected things to play out that direction as Cameron gets that good information. But will they be able to do anything with it? Shopify, they slow their pace down quite a bit here, Gompers.
Yeah, repositioning. I think their main goal is just to catch this team off guard. Mel's playing for that anti-flash, and Cameron just somehow picks one off. I think the biggest thing is that they do a really good job here on the side of Letus Cook of trying to get this anti-eco back into their pockets. Yeah, Flash is just coming out left and right. Honestly, the sky's not looking too good today.
This is why they nerfed Sky, so that less of those could kind of happen here. But I think it just lends itself to just how chaotic some of these matches are. Poppin's still into the mix of things, does have a Sheriff. Not over yet, but looking good for Shopify.
Yeah, Poppin's left behind. Not sure if they even know. Yeah, they don't know that this is happening right now. Headshots coming through. Luckily taking out one, making things, I would say easier for Cairo, but Cairo just got shot through smoke, so I guess not.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen at home, spray through your smokes. At least just put a couple of bullets in there. You never know what you're going to be able to find. You don't even have to see if your opponent's there. Just do it. It'll be great. I promise. Okay, most of the time it'll be great. But still, excellent job by Shopify. They shut that one down. Not two rambunctions from Letus Cook that time around. We didn't get to see them invest as well, meaning that this round number 3, they're going to have their rifles coming into this one. A little bit of light shields coming into the mix, but haven't really seen those flashy plays like we kind of expected. While meanwhile, Sarah on Shopify Rebellion has just been doing an excellent job at, well, kind of leading the squad in onto the sites. It's been pretty consistent that Sarah's able to find a couple of kills on that entry.
I like this, actually. Oh, that was huge info, too. Beautiful flashes. Finally, it was like that great flash that Bancroft got, and now it doesn't work out. Oh, my goodness. Still having to work their way up towards CT side, though. And spawn. Letus Cook, yeah. So many mollies already placed down. They're just saving it up.
I mean, that's just a good reflex coming in from Shopify, just molly after molly after molly. Make sure that there's no way that they could even put a foot in the door. Give yourself maximum time to set up, understanding you have that gun difference. But, I mean, the execute was just so clean. You could see that they were watching for all of these different areas, and they just kind of flew right in onto the site. And now Shopify, they're pushing out. They want to take these rifles away from Letus Cook, because once again, this was their bonus round. Letus Cook, they're just trying to stay alive now, Gomp.
They're racing upwards. There goes Poppin, taking a beautiful shot off Sarah. They've got it on lockdown, though. Shopify Rebellion just doing their absolute best to eliminate everybody. But a 3-0 on the board, which is a complete difference than what we got to see on Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, Shopify on this attack look really good. And even if you just take a look at the mini map on how these site executes are happening, where Floor is flying, someone's watching the other angle, the flashes feel a lot coordinated, not just flashing the team. They're using the utility in such classic bind execute fashion, but they're playing it to a T right now. I mean, I kind of joked about the fact that before it was they feel almost robotic in how they're going in, but it's kind of working for them right now. They look really good, and Letus Cook, they haven't really been able to stop the entry at all, leading now to those 3 rounds being lost. And Cameron has just been under constant pressure, not really able to find much value, unfortunately, besides maybe that first pick on the first round when they were just kind of flooding the site. But Shopify, they got the numbers. They can just overwhelm them.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be something to come easy, though.
I've got your
standing their ground. Letus Cook just waiting. Util being used, and now they're stuck in a corner. Everything coming at them at once, so it's proven to be a bit more difficult. Unfortunately, Sarah not clearing up the angle, so there comes Shopify 1-1.
So good. And now they get the spike down. Letus Cook, 2 members left. Bancroft only has a Guardian here. Already Spawn has been scouted out. This is looking so good from Shopify Rebellion. They've been playing so dominantly, and Jangler still stuck out in hookah.
Oh. I mean, they know where one is. I do believe, they do know where Jangler is as well. Sarah was taken down by that. So, yeah. Pretty good on the information there.
And now the retreat order is going to get called. See, Letus Cook, they got the rifles and they're escaping yet again, going for a save. And meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion, I mean, listen, Mel still has that Bulldog in hand. Hasn't dropped the Bulldog just quite yet from round number 2. And just like that, Shopify Rebellion, they're paving the way forwards pretty dominantly as they get now their 4th round in a row. It doesn't feel like anything can really slow them down. But maybe Poppin coming in here with an aggressive showstopper might just throw them off enough to allow Letus Cook an opportunity to do it. But we need to see them play a little bit more aggressively. They've just been hanging back and letting Shopify run rampant on them.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so much different from what we're kind of used to seeing. I think it was more forgivable on Lotus, though, just because we did have so much room to do so. Now it's like you open up that angle, you don't know who's going to be hiding. There's only one spot that you can really check there. So... yeah, right here. Even then, pushing up, there's so many angles to be watching.
Oh, Cameron. 6 more bullets in that headhunter ready to go here. Ooh. Sarah does find the receiving end of that headshot as Poppin finds one as well. An excellent start here for Letus Cook.
Yeah, paint shell thrown down. Luckily enough, actually hiding within smoke. Mel manages to get one before the trade-off. There's still 1 minute, 10 seconds left. There's enough time for Shopify. Oh, right there comes Noya too to clear things up. I was worried there was a big win condition there in the numbers. Seems like Letus Cook just kind of getting taken down by that collateral stance now, moving themselves over.
Yeah, on top of that too, you get the neural theft online, get the information here. They just gotta watch the back, which I think should be okay if Noya's just hanging here, able to find one.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, Noya's insane. Knocking that down to 34 just to let Alexis clean up whatever's happening there.
Beautiful. I mean, first of all, too, like in that scenario, right? Noya able to find that double kill, immediately just throws down those cyber cages, goes in for the neural theft, gets the information there, and doesn't just blindly go in for the plant. Calls for the rotation, allowing this opportunity to happen because Letus Cook, they were still set up and ready to go. And that is basically the win condition right there. If that ultimate was not popped, that quick thinking was not done, I think that Shopify would have potentially lost their first round on the map. But excellent little microplay going in. Alexis able to find that final kill. And now it's going to be 5v0. 2 of the force going to be online for Letus Cook. Cameron hasn't had much value as of yet. Hasn't really been able to keep a rifle in hand.
Yeah, they've utilized the flash as well, but from here, looking at purpose of that other than gathering information, they see the chamber. Oh, so much happening here. Showstopper missed, which, I mean, super unfortunate. A little bit of damage there, but it's not going to be too much.
Yeah, I gotta call it out. That was because we saw Floor throw the satchel pack, which kind of messed up the trajectory that Poppin was kind of looking for. And so that it throws off how that showstopper is going to be fired off and does do a lot of damage, like you said, but not able to secure the kill, which was ultimately what they were looking for by using that ultimate.
Yeah, if anything, continuing to move along. Just within U-Haul there. Now, yep, smoke's coming down. Viper's Pit to gain some ground. Unfortunate thing is now they have to try their absolute best and to keep everybody alive. They've already lost one. The flash is the initiator there. Alexis going down. And the flank. Information given away. They know Bancroft on their way moving forward. So much to do here, but then again, reload! And it's up to Sarah. Location given away, but so many players from the opposing side looking for the information. Just a slight push forward. Jangler with one. Hidden within the smoke, and right behind they are. The timing, beautiful.
And I got to imagine, you know, that Viper Spit that got set up there. Oh, yeah. I would assume it should have been a little bit more room, but it got kind of stuck. But ultimately, it ended up doing exactly what they wanted, which was to shut off another angle that Letus Cook could have pushed in from. Sure, it got a little bit messy there, but they're able to come out on top of it, which is the most important part, because Letus Cook, the angles now that they have to engage onto the site are right into some of the sight lines of their other members being set up. So it just completely shut down that area, allowing for them to play into Shopify Rebellion's hands, and then it's just overwhelming numbers that are going to win yet again. Cameron looking for it, able to actually find Floor, despite the fact that there might have been a little bit of a blind from the guiding light, and excellent stuff right off the bat as Shopify. That's a hard thing to do now.
I know exactly
that was,
where you are.
I mean, a great flick to start off the round, right? Oh, information given away. They have to back off. Missed shots fired. So now, Letus Cook know exactly where Shopify Rebellion are aiming to fight. Down inside of U-Haul, there it goes. And now the smoke creating that coverage, but once it dissipates, it's going to be 10 times harder starting out from here on out. Luckily enough, a Trailblazer left available, but Bancroft getting shots fired just to take down at least some players here.
Yeah, unfortunate positioning that Alexis found themselves in. Obviously, the smokes came down to try and get that through, but just a spray through will be more than enough. Thankfully, Mel is able to scoop that one back up. Shopify still have the numbers to win this one, but Letus Cook, they find themselves at the advantage for the first time on these retakes.
Yeah, with a cam now there for at least some sort of confidence to know where this team is. Molly keeping them back even further, but an unfortunate peek coming through from Noya. Yeah, leads them to a slight disadvantage. This is not going to work out so well. Timing of the essence. The only thing they need to do is hold it down. And it was a good valiant effort from Sarah, but again, rushing the process as well.
The duel of the Vipers. And Sarah able to find 2 kills there, but Jangler scoops that one back up, and now Letus Cook, they get their first round. But is it a little bit too late? That's going to be the question. They're going to be looking now to get these last 5, hopefully tie up the score a little bit. But with how Shopify have been playing, they got to make sure that they're ready for this. Coming into this next round, we're going to have a slew of ultimates online. Both orbital strikes ready to go for both these squads. An excellent little flick there from Cameron. Get themselves started out onto the right foot. Sarah almost keeps that one alive, but Jangler tying things back up. On top of that too, speaking of, Jangler does have a Viper Spit available. I don't know if this is the round that you necessarily use it. Maybe wait until, you can make sure that you can get a little bit more economical value in the long term, the macro game of it all. But still, that is an option available if they are under a lot of pressure, but not going to be the case. Yeah, Shopify, they're moving in. So Letus Cook, they back off and get ready to play this retake.
Okay, they've gotten the orbital. The placement just there to clear up the backside ever so slightly. But then again, you have a 5v5 here, the 5-person retake to take charge. Now the op smoked off as well. Oh my gosh, so much going on. Up now, peeking forward, trying to pick these players off one by one. But then again, Viper's pit taking place. Yeah, making it so much harder. Somehow, I don't even know how Poppin ran away with that one, but I guess the spray down works.
Oh, man. I was watching that, looking for how Letus Cook were going to engage off it because I was a little bit confused, but they do an excellent job. Orbital strike right off the bat, flush out some of the locations here, and then they just kind of swarm their way in onto the site. Off of a guiding light, play the little bit of distraction. As soon as one person is on, it takes some of the members of Shopify Rebellion to look on the actual site themselves. And that actually allows for the flood to just work out well for Letus Cook. And then once all of their members are onto the site, then they just kind of swung in and dominated. Shopify Rebellion were overwhelmed with kind of what was going on. I mean, based on what you said as well, it was a little bit overwhelming, and you could tell that Shopify Rebellion were feeling that pressure. Letus Cook, they get their second round here, and honestly, they pretty much just had to use 2 ultimates to secure it for themselves.
Bomb buddy out. Actually racing that one. Trying to see what's going on here as it should. Shopify just waiting for some sort of aggression to be pushed forward.
Slow game right now, playing information. Poppin, showstopper.
I'd be worried. Listening to, you can tell that Poppin's worried too, just running around the corner.
Oh, timing!
Man. That's gotta hurt. Alexis was, my apologies, Alexis was running it down just to avoid that, finding the timing.
And now, Letus Cook, they're down 2 members here. Floor just goes to the swing, finds Bancroft.
Wow.
Oh, blink!
Shouldn't even be legal the way that happened, but at the same time, does it matter? Jangler knew! Or maybe there wasn't any sort of comms happening through that, but yeah, definitely should have had that information in pocket.
And now this round pretty much over. You can already tell Alexis going for the hunt here. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure Alexis must have had like a stopwatch or something, waiting for the exact period of time that it takes for that showstopper to expire. Because literally, Poppin had that showstopper ready to fire it. It expired. And during that exchange where you're pulling out the next rifle, Alexis is able to find that kill. That is like the singular case of VALORANT timing that I have ever seen in this entire map.
It's 10 seconds, I believe, for the rocket launcher. So Alexis was just like, all right, like, I don't understand that either. It really was perfect timing there.
It really was. And even when you take a look at the kills, I mean, it's not completely just one-sided like we saw on the start of Lotus here, but Shopify Rebellion, they've just been playing a very clean game, and now the engagement going good, popping down.
Yeah, paint shell actually, too. I was expecting the paint shell to be thrown down towards backside, but I guess, yeah, Jangler up. Not leaving it down to CT and waiting for the retake instead, which might be the best bet with Poppin taken down.
And on top of that, too, playing off the Seeker, getting that knowledge that they're completely pushed back, you hold on to those paint shells, and now you can use it to really slow down the push or prevent people from moving in onto the site. So just good discipline coming in.
Yeah, avoiding being taken out here. Jangler taking their sweet, sweet time with it with 3 players watching. So many things that you can do in this moment, but Mel's just hiding, waiting for these players to really peek on through. Beautiful shots from Sarah just to run away with a round.
Oh my god, Alexis, the tap, and you're all dead type of strategy there. I mean, there should have been no way that Alexis was able to win out that fight. Of course, Sarah holding down the other angle. Just kind of like you said, be able to shut down Jangler, but look at that. Just goes left, goes right, taps a couple of times with that Vandal, able to find the kills necessary. And Letus Cook, they were moving in there with a vengeance. They were ready to play it, but completely just get shut down. They weren't expecting Alexis's position at all. And Shopify, they continue their reign of dominance, now up 8-2. We're gonna be seeing Cameron actually keep this operator into this next round, try and even things out, but not able to find the kill right off the bat. Is Poppin already down yet again?
Yeah, no, it did get tagged quite a bit there. Not really enough to make a statement. There's so much going on. I kind of feel bad for Bancroft, but Jangler there to just make sure, okay, here, I got you for the trade. It doesn't matter regardless. Numbers disadvantage. Not really being seen on both sides. Still 4v4, though.
Oop.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Sarah does not miss those.
No, literally does not. There wasn't even a need for the molly at that point, but we could pretty much see the same thing happen before where a nasty 2K was brought about, but Mel now slowly peeking forward. And underneath, oh, this is beautiful. The positioning of this one, there it comes down through the wall. Actually not being able to find much there. They've locked themselves away from the situation, finding one off the side, and now damage being taken, place 39. They need at least one headshot to take away from this moment.
Jangler.
And Jangler finds it.
Oh man, this is going to be down to the wire too, but I think the defuse should be fine. Yeah, clears it. It's going to be all right. Letus Cook, they find their 3rd round there. And I have to admit, you know, that position of putting that spike down, a little bit awkward for Shopify. I mean, they were kind of playing the dancing game up in the window, trying to see who was going to peek first and then, you know, hope that things are going to work out. But if they had planned it a little bit more safe, I think that Shopify would have been in just a better position there. Mel did an excellent job at making it down to this 1v2 scenario, but once again, Jangler just has to play the side here, going back and forth, and can isolate those kills that way. If it was planted safe, that would have forced Jangler to push out into them. And so a little bit of unfortunate spike positioning being planted in there. But now, all right, Letus Cook, they're starting to feel better about themselves. Still though, Shopify, they do have rifles coming into this one. Noya does take yet another bullet right off the bat from that Tour de Force.
I do like the patience, though, that we're seeing from Sarah. I think it's just going to be hard. Cameron holding the angle. They have a perfect sight as to what's supposed to happen. They're flashing through, and Sarah getting the trade-off.
I responded out as well. Going to be nice and easy for Noya to go. Yeah. Neural Theft goes. Bancroft is there, though.
Looking for more, though. Floor slowly moving up towards the back. Down in lamps. Oh my goodness, the timing here is immaculate. Might actually be able to run away with one turnaround, find the next, and still somehow runs away with their life. Man, I thought they were going to chase with that showstopper.
I think the HP pool just a little bit low for Floor. Bancroft has made their way over here. 1v2 scenario.
Nice.
Nice indeed. Alexis able to clean that one off. Alexis has been so good in kind of these like last person standing situations. I think that overall on this attack, Alexis has just been doing a really good job at staying alive, protecting the spike, and then being available into those clutch situations. And I mean, listen, now the second top fragger on the Shopify Rebellion side, tied right now with Noya, but things are looking good for Shopify. And you know that they're going to be looking to push it into double digits. The curse might still be real. Don't want to flirt with disaster here. And so if Shopify do get this round, according to Superstition, or sorry, wait, no, this is the half. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. The curse might be real. Let's see if they can thwart it.
Yeah, they've switched sides at this point. Shopify are they're just fighting for this round win. I think here, yeah, they're looking for some sort of really quick B push there. I mean, A push, my apologies, up towards showers with the smoke. Kind of keeping themselves intact, yeah.
Yeah, nice and slow this time, actually, from Letus Cook. A little bit unconventional from their strategy on previous sides, maps, honestly. And look at that cheeky little Cypher setup. I have never seen that trip be set up like that.
I love this one because then they hit it and they're just floating in air. And it's like, it's free range. Like,
help, I'm trapped. Get me down. Well, Letus Cook, they're getting themselves set up for this B-side push. Alexis is going to be anchoring down this site. I imagine Shopify will go for a fast rotate over. Here comes the engagement.
Oh, they saw it.
Unlucky.
Yeah, Papa knew. And they didn't even shoot it down, regardless. Someone could still get caught in that, though. I think Alexis is just waiting for, the saying that somebody did get caught, in fact, but it still is up to everyone else on this team. Shopify Rebellion not losing one just yet, but knowing they need to move in at some point.
5v5 onto this retake, but Mel coming up from behind is going to have to challenge Poppin.
Mel. Man, having to peek the angles. Giving away their own location off the shoulder there, but it's Sarah with the refrag. Potential there. Flash out. Oh, this is going to hurt so bad when it comes to the floor, but still hiding in the angle. And a right click there. Shopify Rebellion there for the team. Although despite not having the win condition there in the numbers, still fighting for it. Noya with the 2K. And looking for more. At this time, I mean, there really isn't enough time regardless. And it's Cameron to take the win, so they're not out of the count just yet.
I'm too far.
Yeah, and I love that post-plant positioning coming in from Letus Cook. Finally, they win their first pistol round in this entire series. And honestly, this is the time that you want to do that. Given the fact that Shopify are already up one map, I want to be able to pull this one back a little bit. Excellent, just util kind of playing off there. Noya with a little bit of heroics, but simply the timer just not being in the favor of Shopify Rebellion. As a result, Letus Cook squeeze away with that round. They're going to be buying up here while Shopify go into that save. And look at this, Poffin already investing into a Phantom. A little bit rambunctious, but wouldn't have it any other way.
That's actually nice timing, too. And push back to a couple seconds. There's only one player on the A side, so...
And Floor's going to have a lot to deal with. No more utility left over. Or Shopify all the way tucked in onto this B site. If Floor can stay alive, that'll be huge. Especially if Letus Cook decide to push in here.
I mean, regardless, the wall comes up. This is still the perfect site to hit for Letus Cook. I think eventually they'll start to realize that the only player sitting here is Floor. Yep, information given away now.
Oh, no.
They're moving in towards the A site, and the rotation begins.
Yeah, smoke's going to dissipate here. Shopify Rebellion, weapon disadvantage, 4 members still alive, coming through from spawn. Looks like they're going to be just trying to overwhelm them this time. Escalate those kills, but excellent angles being set up by Letus Cook.
Some shots fired, though, still looking for more. Gun advantage. Yep, yeah, stuck on the side of Letus Cook, of course. I mean, the flawless was going to come out with what they had to work with. Unfortunately, Floor getting taken down so early as well really wasn't the wave, but it seems like Shopify now. I mean, just buying some weapons here, seeing where they can take things.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, Letus Cook, they look really good when they play those fast execs, but at the exact same time, playing things a little bit slowly, making sure they have the information before they committed, it looked pretty good. It's a very classic Viper wall that we get seen set up at the start of the round onto that A side to allow you to take all of that space if you want. And now, ball is in Shopify's court. They got to slow down this roll, otherwise things are going to look a little bit more dicier than they were anticipating, especially too with the level of dominance that they kind of had on their attacking side there, Gompers.
Scout destroyed.
Now they have a lot of ground though down on B. A little bit more this time around, actually relying on Mel to just watch up
That's
towards
crazy.
top. But yeah, that has to hurt so bad.
And at this point too, like Shopify Rebellion, they look like they're almost trapped. They're setting up so deep onto the angles, but they don't really have any idea necessarily where Letus Cook want to go. And so as a result, Letus Cook, I mean, they can go wherever they want to. They just have to be a little bit more cautious on the entry, because if they do lose a couple of members, things could get dicey. And actually we see Sarah go for a little bit more sight here as Bancroft goes in.
Yeah, Poppin's still waiting. I mean, smoke pretty much has come up. It's going to be a bit harder here for Floor to find something. Finding the 2K, down to it.
Spike down B.
But it's Poppin that manages to get the refrag through 3v1 situation here with Noi left alone. And Spike planted, so there is a limited amount of time.
Now too, rifle picked up by Cairo as well. A lot of pressure. Too long, one hookah. Can Noya do it?
Give me a corpse. My ultimate is ready.
Oh, unlucky. Can't use the neural theft.
Yeah. This is going to be great, though. I don't know. Yeah, I figured that they were actually going to use the orbital to bring themselves into a good position, but they know where everybody is now at this point, at least leaving some space between them. But through the wall, finding the shot.
Letus Cook, they're starting to pull things back. They're looking pretty darn good. I mean, obviously, finding that first pick onto Mel, just shutting down that site, it's so big because a lot of information, like how Shopify are kind of playing onto this defense, it is this kind of gamble stack. Maybe the whole point of this is it's mostly because of the economy, how things have been going lately, but it feels like that they want to just stack in on one of these sites a little bit more. This time around, it does look like we might be getting a little bit more aggression, and I think that's good. The reason why we see them be a little bit more successful is when they have that kind of map control here, when they have an idea on where potentially these guys are going to be going in. And, well, they're at least able to scoop up the ultimate orb right off the bat here. A lot of utility being tossed in from Letus Cook, though, and it's all just because of one smoke.
Yeah, pushing up, finding. At least they're duelist. It's such a weird situation to push yourself up solo as well, but seems like the main thing that they were trying to do was actually keep that push coming through from Hookah. At the same time, needing to gain some ground on the side of Letus Cook. The A site slowly being contested back again from Shopify.
Flash goes through, the smokes are down. Should be able to get this plant here, but okay, look at that. Noi is able to take Poppin out.
Okay, now there just needs to be a couple more. They're stuck in this 3v3 position now. I mean, weapons could be picked up if they gain a little bit more. Yep, no, unfortunately not. There goes the Phantom. Are they going to pick it up? But they cannot. Too much power.
It was looking good for a second for Shopify. A little bit of surprise tactics were working out for them. But look at that. Now, Letus Cook. I mean, they took the Shopify Rebellion idea on the attack and completely just ran away with it. 4 rounds now coming in from them. And looking to make it their 5th. We are going to be seeing Shopify buy up here. Mel going to be back onto that operator. But quite frankly, I mean, Poppin has that showstopper ready to go. The Seekers are going to be available for Bancroft. They've got a lot of tools to work with themselves. And I think that Shopify came into this one expecting a little bit of a different playstyle from Letus Cook. As a result, I mean, I think this is the reason why they're not too sure what they need to do. Showstopper going in, able to find Mel.
Extremely passive. I feel like the Shopify have gone back to, you know, that super passive game play that we've seen before. Even now down on B. I mean, the showstopper's gone, so what else do they have to use for that retake? Still sitting back there. The cam left up from Noya could gather some good information if they please, but waiting for the retake to come in.
And this is good. Just play off of each other. Don't give any unnecessary angles. Floor has this operator now. Checking long, but Letus Cook. They back off.
Yeah, moving forward, though. Okay, they have the smokes ready and prep. Now the molly to try to stop any sort of, I guess, contest that they can do right now. Letus Cook not cooking too good right now as that defusal comes down. So Shopify Rebellion putting themselves back onto the board.
Yeah, and that was really good from Shopify. I mean, they just put one person on the defuse. They had an idea that Letus Cook might be playing a little bit more aggressively backwards. Sorry, passively is probably the better word, because they completely just backed themselves up. I mean, maybe playing for like lineups or something, that would have been my best guess. But Shopify, they're not afraid to just push into that space. And as a result, they can just leave someone on the defuse because they've got the showers angle cleared. They already know that the couple of members are going to be long. And when Letus Cook decided to move in, they were immediately not expecting a couple of members of the Shopify squad to be up in their face. And it's just a simple defuse. A very important round for Shopify to be able to pick up to get back into this half. Now they only need 3 more to win out the series.
Yeah, placing the same wall as before, but this time an off in hand. Not wanting to peek the angle. Mel getting taken out along with Alexis, and this is unfortunate. I mean, for the side of Shopify, the whole point of that was to really hold back this push. Now what else do they have to work for? I mean, they could go for a rotate if they please here.
Yeah, 4v3 scenario. Stimpack already tossed down as well. Letus Cook, I mean, they're playing by long. This opens up their options if they do want to move things over, but I think they're just playing the field. Get a little bit of information, see what's going on before they have to commit.
Not given a full rotation over to A just yet, but Sarah's left alone. 30 seconds left. You'd be surprised they didn't want to move towards A. But I guess now with the numbers starting to show, Shopify Rebellion giving in.
Seconds left.
Man.
No.
Last player standing.
No, that's got to be difficult.
And Noya left now.
Yeah.
1v3. Neural theft available as well, but would have been good if that neural theft was used a little bit earlier on, but no corpse available. So Letus Cook, I mean, they get another round now. What started as this massive crater between these two teams, score-wise, is very quickly closing in. Letus Cook now, they've only got 2 more rounds before they tie things up. And Shopify Rebellion are going to be taking a timeout here, you know, try and figure something out because it's very quickly spiraling out of their control. On this half, they've only picked up a single round. Letus Cook, they're feeling nice and comfortable, compers.
I think they have every right to feel comfortable too. Like their performance so far has been obviously shaky at best from time to time, but I think a big thing is just Shopify Rebellion. They're giving them too early of fights. I mean, right there, you have the crosshold being held from Mel and Alexis, and then it really just goes terribly. They should have known, right? They have a Sky. What are the chances that this works? What are the chances that we get flashed? And I guess they tried to bypass that hiding Mel, you know, beneath box or behind box, but I think definitely not looking a bit deeper into that. I think just playing passive, right? Either that or I haven't really seen too big of a push out with Alexis's util to try to gain some ground. It's been difficult at best.
Yeah, difficult at best. Good way to put it. And moving into this next one, I mean, Sarah does have the Viper's Pit available. But quite frankly, I think you hold on to that Viper's Pit. This is on an econ round. You don't use that thing right now. You want to make sure that that's going to guarantee a round for you. It's such an expensive ultimate. You want to use it properly. Noya, meanwhile, already has another neural theft online, by the way. As we talked about on that last round, that could be an important tool on playing some of that retake positioning here. Shopify, they're changing up the strats a bit. About to push through. Cairo on the other side of that guiding light, but able to escape.
Okay, this is what we wanted to see from the start, right? The aggressiveness starting to really shine through. I don't believe anybody actually picked up the weapon that was dropped, though. Seems like, yeah, op still in hand for Cameron.
Oh, that would have been an excellent pick if Jangler was able to pick that one up, but now Shopify, they can take that back and go down, and you can see Letus Cook, they're feeling a little bit of the pressure. They're making the call right now, but have to use so much utility to even just re-clear some of this area.
Yeah, giving over the rifle to Mel. Viper's Pit up. Giving Sarah a bigger advantage, too, if they want to push this. Which, you know, evidence shows that they enjoy pushing smokes like these. I think it's just...
Oh, no, Sarah.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting anything there.
Oh, it got close, but thankfully not.
30 seconds left.
With 30 seconds left, Mel with the Vandal. They know that Mel is at a very big advantage here. Not to mention the B site still. So much information being taken away from it. Oh, they might have gotten some damage there. There's another one. 6 bullets left, though. Oh, when the orbital push down. Information, give it away. Run in, gun to it. Unfortunately, not having anything to use in this moment in time.
Yeah.
The Trailblazers stunning these opponents. Keeping the op intact. The 2K there, and Cameron fighting for their lives. Still, though, down to this 2v1. The op in hand, they might just be able to pick off another as they slowly peek forward. The timing being the most important thing. There comes the next. The bullet's gone. Not wanting to waste the time to reload, but it's over. They've managed to keep this down. Somehow, Cameron keeping the game alive. Inoya shutting it down. That was incredibly close.
Okay, Cameron earned their position on the team. This is why you got this guy on operator, huh? Oh my goodness. That was a thrill and a half. I mean, obviously, excellent job being able to scoop up that Vandal right off the bat. A lot of pressure so early on, setting Mel up with that Vandal to shut down so much. And then on top of that too, making sure Shopify have the utility to be able to push forward. But Cameron almost single-handedly did it. Popped the Tour de Force to supplement the fact that the operator takes a year and a half to reload and is able to find just a little bit more there, just spraying into the smokes. But Shopify come out on top, squeaking by. And now the economy for Letus Cook is falling a little bit down here as Floor takes an aggressive angle with this op.
Honestly, Floor and the op might be... Oh, man. I was going to say that the best thing for this team, right? Put some fear into their lives here.
Yeah.
Yeah, already working out perfectly. Another one coming through. Bancroft getting taken down. A taste of their own medicine here for Letus Cook.
Cameron's like, all right, my turn. Looking for something. Can't quite find anything, and I think the damage has been done from Floor. So Letus Cook, they know that A site is completely off limits. Sight lines of that sniper rifle are too deadly, and look at that position from Sarah. Hanging out up top, has that Phantom ready to go. So Letus Cook, they inch their way forwards onto this B site. Their options are looking limited.
Sarah's not even worried. I enjoy this, keeping their cool. I mean, surprisingly enough, managing to get a shot off of it for Letus Cook. But yeah, Molly placed down. No information on the side of camera, just the op in hand.
30 seconds left.
Finally, the spike is going to be going down here. But all 5 members remaining for Shopify here. Weapons in hand as well. They have to be careful of Cameron, but now they know the danger that this operator poses. But of course, a Viper's Pit is going to make this even more difficult here, Compers.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. Cameron had such a good angle. Being held off of that. Shopify Rebellion. 5-person push 2 at most, so this is going to be the best push they've probably had here in a while. If they can get past the op, though, Viper's Pit proven to be an issue. And already still left up somehow. How is Cameron running away with these shots?
I couldn't tell you. Once again, just spray through your smokes, including the Viper's Pit, apparently, because that's how this has been going down pretty well. Letus Cook, they somehow squeeze out that round. Of course, the Viper's Pit from Jangler made sure that that was going to be possible, but Shopify Rebellion, it almost felt like they just kind of trickled in one by one, and that was the terrifying angle that they kind of had to push into. It was an excellent defensive setup from Letus Cook. From Hookah, Cameron with the operator could watch the push out from spawn, and all the remaining members of Letus Cook had to really do was watch elbow. And watch elbow they did. As Shopify walked in, they just sprayed things down, able to find those kills, and Cameron being able to hold down the spawn point as well, made sure that no cheeky flanks were happening. They had it down on lock, and Shopify walked in to that trap.
I mean, it was beautiful coming through from Cameron. I think overall it was just going to get really hard to bypass that Viper's Pit too. But Shopify not having a lot to work with. I'm surprised the timeout coming through from Letus Cook, I guess. More so trying to see, how to keep running away with these constant wins. And a possibility from Shopify, too, to try something new. I'm hoping. We see that 4-stack coming up towards B, but I guess this is what they do on the eco every time.
Yeah. Well, maybe not this time. Yeah. It looks like actually we're going to be seeing the defense spread itself out a little bit. Going to be putting the smokes players... Yeah, I guess that kind of counts. Cypher counts. But it's going to be aggressive once again. Just go out here, same protocol as before, just one smoke, scoop of that ultimate orb, and then back off. And yeah, I mean, Letus Cook, they play with a little bit more respect this time. They don't just try and commit to it. They kind of know how things are going to go, but Poppin going for the spray. Not able to find much, as it's going to be an aggressive flash as Mel moves forwards.
I feel like they should have an idea as to where Floor's hiding. Yeah, Paint Shell to push back Alexis. Maybe try to retrieve a weapon, all at that. And I love how they're just trying to... yeah, they're making sure that they can't even get anything once they do start that rotation out. But yeah, keeping things on lockdown. Already a second being held. Nice spray transfer there coming through from Cairo.
Yeah, now it's all up to Noya. Does have a sheriff in hand, but this round should more or less be over. Letus Cook. They're able to get this one. They're going to close that gap even more, down to a 1 difference. And yeah, sure, give Cameron the ultimate orb. Get the Tour de Force being closer online, given the fact that Jangler had just used that Viper Spit, so that's miles away turning online. While Poppin still having that showstopper, as well as the orbital strike from Cairo. Honestly, right now, Letus Cook, overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's looking really good for them moving forwards.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good right now, too. Oh, slight peek of the head there, yeah, but Cairo runs away with a 3K. 10-11 for Shopify. Unfortunate that they did have this eco round, but a good pull-through coming through from Letus Cook. They're kind of pulling like a reverse on Shopify, giving them a taste of their own medicine down on what happened on Lotus.
Yeah, and it's looking really good for them. I mean, if you just watched the first half of this map, you wouldn't have expected to see the scoreline in the second half here. Shopify were so dominant, and now moving over to the defense on Bind, they've only won 2 rounds. And Poppin as well is starting to turn it up yet again. Very quiet on that first half, but now is able, it just feels like Poppin's in the right place at the right time, able to spraying down the right position. They go down, showstopper online.
And the orbital strike would have worked out perfectly down towards the back, but Bancroft, luckily enough, actually clearing that. Maybe looking for something more. Already 4 players on that rotation down towards the B site. Not looking too good, though. Alexis left alone in a flash in hand. They know the push is coming pretty aggressively. Oh, no, they don't. Timing of the essence. So many players still stuck within CT.
All 4.
A possibility for a collateral. I'm seeing as to maybe it would work, but the timing, the 1 second that you don't hold the angle.
Oh, that's a certified feels bad, man. On top of that, too, the spike was moved down there as well. Letus Cook, they were ready to just completely move things around, but now Mel in a flanking position, able to find one, but Cairo trades it back.
Man, unfortunate, honestly, for Shopify. They were going so good, and now it's like they always seem to struggle with winning out these fights, which is kind of surreal. Floor, an amazing player. You know, taking in these 1v1s, but it feels like they've been canceled every time by the util alone. Right there, unfortunate. Tap down on the legs. Not a lot of health really to be given away from that, but Noya just needs the 1. 2 players left standing, having to pick the fights and the unfortunate recoil.
Well, everybody, make a wish. 11-11. They've done it. Letus Cook right back into it now.
Yeah.
And on top of that, too, the economy for Shopify. It's so not good. There's no other way to say that. They're coming into this next one, a couple of stingers here to try and get themselves onto that 12th round, but it's just been like a streak for Letus Cook to be able to move through there. Cameron really turning things up, but honestly, the surprise player for me right now is Cairo kind of coming in and fragging out really hard. I mean, Cairo has been a little bit more quiet, just kind of playing more of a passive role on the previous map, but this time around, has been able to find just so much in the smokes. Have been online every single time for Letus Cook, but it's going to be a good trade.
Man, trying to be sturdy here.
My ult is ready.
Shopify Rebellion with the aggression, just hoping their aim can do the work for them, but they might just give away this match point, and that's the scariest thing for Shopify, right?
Slowing things down now. And at least on the next round, should be able to see them buy up, but engagement coming through. Volleys come down, spray through the smoke, but nothing found this time.
Trying to find the patience here. Letus Cook, they don't want to push in too early. They know this team is looking out for blood on the side of Shopify Rebellion. So, you know, you have to be careful despite the weapons they have, keeping their respects there. Oh, no, you have such a good flank. And that's beautiful. Taking in a weapon now, actually utilizing the ultimate as well. This is going to help Fluorescent while they're at it.
Yeah, Fleur now in a great position. Does he have a sheriff, but knows.
Oh, this is perfect. You know exactly what to do here. Maybe second shot being taken down. Match point Thrifty on the side of Shopify. Noya really pulled through.
I mean, okay. First of all, when you have a duelist, right? Noya coming absolutely clutch, but there's a little bit of a joke. Oh yeah, the duelist just acts as a distraction, so the rest of the team kind of go in there. You expect your duelist to die first. And to be fair, you know, Floor kind of was a distraction. Found that first pick. Immediately, you see all of the heads of Letus Cook turn. Little did they know, Noya doing their best Sonic the Hedgehog impression, just W keying it all the way down.
Yeah.
And so they were completely looking the wrong way. Had a rifle in hand, and Noya secures that round. Shopify Rebellion, they can buy up this time, and now they're looking to send them home as Cameron activates that tour de force.
Yeah, you can see Shopify too, definitely learning from, I mean, the mistakes they committed before, actually taking a bit more time to execute on those engagements now. Having the orbital strike here left on the side of Mal, so that's going to play so well into the post plant. Or maybe even just denying anything.
At least they still have this Viper's Wall available to give them that space, but more importantly, look at that trip. That's going to guarantee a piece of information at the very least. Uh-oh, popping. Vulnerable.
I'm surprised nobody was there to actually pick that fight off, but I guess it wasn't really on the list of things to do there. Down inside of showers, they have a guess. An assumption maybe. Pop, and please do not spray down. This is scary, because this team has been immaculate with the spray downs down through smoke here. On the side of Letus Cook, but up towards Heaven. Not trying to contest too much.
Look at this. They know the information. They know that they've backed all the way up into Heaven, and now Shopify can take all that space for free. Finally, the plant will be coming down, but Shopify are ready to go.
They've pretty much switched sides at this point. Not having to get a retake in, which Shopify Rebellion slowly inching their way forward. This is good. They have a nice sandwich in. If they manage to pull through, the best that could happen is they take this game away. Maybe hear from Shopify getting taken down by Pop and not looking too good. 2 players down. Already a 3v2 situation with the defusal already coming in. Halfway down to it, but so much damage. And a victory from Shopify Rebellion. You got that 13-11 down to it and a 2-0. Honestly, first game of this round 32 for Shopify, and they did immaculate.
Fantastic job there for Shopify Rebellion. I mean, that's not to take away from Letus Cook at all. I mean, once again, you know, coming into this one, everyone had high hopes for Shopify, and Letus Cook, they haven't really found that many wins in their tournament lives thus far, but man, did they look good. Finding so many of these different opportunities, able to keep their mental nice and strong and pull themselves back into things. Shopify Rebellion, when they make the opponents look uncomfortable, they're the ones who are going to be able to triumph. I think that was very well demonstrated in that last round where, you know, Letus Cook, they didn't really know what they were doing. They tried to set themselves up, did not have time to put themselves into the right position, and Shopify were more than happy to just pounce on them. A little bit more dynamic play kind of coming in here, but what an excellent match, Gompers.
No, it truly was. And the thing is that not only was it an excellent match, but it was a super intense one at that, right? You have the ability to move forward. Again, this is double elim, so it doesn't mean they're out of the count just yet, but at the same time, it is pretty scary, right? You just got knocked down, but luckily enough for Shopify Rebellion, that means they're moving forward, obviously into the rounds, but it's got to feel really, really, really good coming back from, you know, constantly losing these rounds to, okay, taking it to match point, let's close out the game.
And meanwhile, like, I feel like the brain fog took over when it was 9-3. I mean, I felt like I got cursed as well. But there was a real second there where it was looking like Letus Cook were going to be able to come back. They were so dominant on their offense, and you could just feel the momentum building there. And honestly, good resilience kind of coming in from Shopify to make sure that even though they've got that momentum, they're looking nice and confident. We're doing what we can to shut things down. And of course, who else? Noya was so key to Shopify's win on this map.
Noya, the last map, it was I believe it was Floor, but this this map and the last map, Noya had such a big impact playing into that Sentinel role. And I think it was perfect too, because this team of Letus Cook was pretty aggressive, trying to look for those flanks, trying to look for those lurks, and I think Noya really did shut that down excellently. And not only that, I mean, we got to see at the last second, bringing them to that match point. It's like these key moments and these key elements that Noya just continues to bring about. And I think that's such a key factor, having that one player that you can know is going to be the last alive, but you can also rely on in situations like those.
Oh, 100%. I'm still remembering in the first half there where it was like a 2v4 situation. Noya finds a couple of kills through a spray through, tosses down the neural theft, and then the rest is history. Shopify Rebellion win that round. And Noya is such a key player on this squad. But of course, too, looking at Letus Cook, I mean, Poppin, little slow to start. Thankfully, we did have Cameron there to kind of pick up the slack there with the chamber, but Poppin, once they get going, I mean, it always looks just so good. Just unfortunately not able to get the team across the finish line.
No, I think it's great. I think, again, the biggest factor of this game as to why it didn't really work out for Letus Cook, because they were really picking up the pace. We talk about Cameron. We talk about his ability with the op and maybe even, the tour de force. But it's really these small elements that put together that made this team really shine. And I think overall it was the fact that they saw, right, the round starting to come in. They got more confident. They also started to read a bit more into what Shopify couldn't do. And I think that was the biggest thing. Okay, Flash threw down instead of Hookah. They're always there. And it was always that free engagement that they got to pick off. But eventually, you learn from your mistakes. Shopify picked it back up. But, Marks, I mean, do you have any last words?
The only thing I kind of learned from this one is it's okay if you flash your team at the start as long as you pick it up later on.
Exactly! Perfect lesson!
They came back into it, so that's what I learned from this matchup.
No, a spectacular team that we got to see out of Letus Cook. Honestly, I would not count them out just yet. They really did put a good showing together. But again, big congratulations to Shopify Rebellion for bringing it up with the win. We're going to have two amazing casters coming with you. Me and Marks are getting off the desk. We're tired of you. No, I'm just kidding. We actually really enjoyed ourselves here. No, Mars is like, don't speak on my behalf, please. But
I gave you the reins, if that's what you say.
It was a super fun time. I'm super excited to come back again. I believe Marks will be back as well another time, but we see you guys soon. Make sure to enjoy the next two best of threes that you're going to be watching. We'll see you later. Have fun.
The game starts long before the game starts. You get your gear right, your keyboard, your controller, your controller's controllers, and the keys to your keyboard. Because warm hands are faster hands. Gain the upper hand and power up your pregame warm-up with Zippo hand warmers.
face.